You're listening to Speaking Stellar Girl with Teri an interview series that inspires women to live their most stellar life. Teri is the co-founder of the Stellar Girl movement, and she is sitting down with women all over the world to hear about the key moments in their lives and how they live boldly, compassionately, and ultimately became a stellar girl.
Welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl. I'm your host, Teri, and I'm thrilled today to have Jenn Chung joining me. Jennifer is a former beauty queen turned beauty entrepreneur with more than a decade experience in the ingestible beauty space. And after leading her family's cosmetic business to a multi-million-dollar success, she set out to create a brand that joined her Eastern upbringing of herbal remedies with modern science to create beauty from within and products that actually work. I'm so excited to hear your journey and your own EMBODY brand. So welcome, Jenn. Thank you so much for joining Speaking Stellar Girl.
Yeah, hey Teri, and hello everyone. I'm so excited to be on today and just share my story and learn more about Stellar Girl. I think it's a great community with a great purpose, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it.
Thank you. So I'm going to start off with a question that you probably get all the time. Why did you leave your family's successful company, Bumore, to start on your own endeavor, to enter into this EMBODY brand of yours?
Yeah, I in a way, I did leave to pursue my own brand, but I'm still very much involved on the day-to-day operations. My mom and I, she's my best friend, she's my mentor, and of course, she's still my boss. And we've come to the conclusion that I'm great at operations, I can still do it. But her, she's always going to be the face of the company and the marketing. And for me, I through the years, I've learned so much about the ingestible beauty space. I've had so much fun with it. And I wanted to create a brand that resonated more with me, right? With Forever Be More, the demographics very different, right?
Mm-hmm.
We cater more to Asian Americans, middle-aged women. And I wanted a brand that was just more sassy, more fun. Yeah, more fun. And that's when EMBODY was born.
Oh, fantastic. And you've created gummies, and you're I like candy, right? You got to like candy to have a gummy brand.
Yeah. We originally, when I started EMBODY, I wanted to do a collagen drink supplement. Not a lot of people know this because I grew up with collagen drink supplements, and it's still continues to be the bestseller over at my family's business.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw how well it worked, especially for after 25, I'm sure you know this, but our collagen production just drops down after we turn 25. And the reason that we age is because we lose the elasticity in our skin that comes from collagen production. So I really believed in that formula, and I wanted to bring it back into the States, but we had the feedback that we were getting when we initially launched wasn't that great because it's a product that a lot of people are unfamiliar with.
Right.
And I had gone on this trip with one of my best girlfriends, and it was kind of like a summit trip. And she told me, and this advice stuck to me to this day.
Okay,
she was like, why don't you do something that people are familiar with, that they enjoy taking? And then once you pull them in with that, you can introduce to them something that they're not familiar with. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And I started looking for gummy manufacturers because at the time, I really enjoyed taking gummies. I mean, the science behind it now, you're able to squeeze so much vitamins into just 2 gummies.
Mm-hmm.
And after looking for a while, we finally found a manufacturer here in the States that really aligned with what we wanted to create. So one, not only were they able to create tasty gummies, but they really understood what we were trying to achieve with this whole beauty from within. And within a couple of months, we launched with the world's first retinol gummy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been...
And it exploded.
And we've hit so many great milestones the last year. We've only been a year in business. And I know with yourself too, you had launched your brand in the middle of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just makes us so much more resilient businesswomen during this time.
100%. I mean, the fact that you're able to put retinol inside an ingestible product that is safe and has other nutrients as well. So tell me about the other ingredients apart from the retinol before we get into your latest launch of eczema gummy that just launched, I think yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. So when you think of retinol, it's a very ingredients, right? But it has amazing benefits to it if you know how to use it. But there's definitely like a weaning process. So with topical retinol, if you guys aren't familiar with it, how it works is it stimulates cell growth at like an incredible rate. So because it's doing that, your skin can experience sensitivity, and it's a scary ingredient. What we wanted to do was, I am a fan of retinol, right? You can't replace topical retinol. Our goal is to complement it, or at least introduce you to a form of retinol that's much easier to like fit into your skincare routine.
Okay.
So the main ingredient is retinol acetate. It's a vitamin A, but we've included in there, we have like vitamin C for collagen synthesis. We have biotin, zinc, a lot of great anti-inflammatory ingredients. So this complex of vitamins, what it does is it gets you that dewy glow. I know you love that dewy glow, right? When our skin is glowing, we're glowing, and everything around us starts to glow. And then it also helps treat acne. I know sometimes even as an adult, like we get breakouts from the stress, from the food that we intake. And so that can also help with breakouts that you have. And then of course, preventing aging, right? Here, we want to age gracefully. And I think a lot of people are missing out on the inside out approach to skincare. You're spending hundreds of dollars on like topical skincare products, but if you're not taking the vitamins that your skin needs, then you're not going to age gracefully as you'd like.
So in addition to the retinol gummy, the 2 that you take a day, and what time of the day do you recommend taking the gummy?
Honestly, it's up to you. So my favorite time of day to take it, and I always recommend this, is taking it after dinner because it's like a sweet treat. I have like the biggest sweet tooth. I don't know if you have it as well, but chocolate, right? I always have to have something sweet. So I feel like having this right after dinner, like it like satisfies my craving, but I'm not like reaching for like, ice cream or something.
Is there sugar in the gummies?
There is. And
Natural sugar.
Yeah. So there's, I think about like 3 or 4 grams total. And sorry, I totally blanked out. But the reason we put sugar is because we want it to taste good.
Yeah.
The amount of sugar
that tastes yucky.
Yeah.
It defeats the purpose.
It defeats the purpose. If you enjoy taking them, and most of our customers, that's their number one feedback, they love the taste, then you take it every day. You look forward to taking it. And when you take it every day, you're consistent, and then you'll have consistent results. Like I've tasted sugar-free gummies, and let me tell you, I haven't found a brand that tasted good sugar-free.
Well, the good thing is that it's not aspartame and sucralose, it's sugar. And sugar is okay in small doses, right? So it's the chemical that we don't want in our body. It's the aspartame and sucralose, that was a pesticide for fields that killed crops. That's like in Diet Coke. Like I don't want that in my body. But sugar, let's have a little sugar.
Yeah, have some fun with it, treat yourself to it. And I don't know if I'll ever create a sugar-free product, just because until I'm able to make it taste delicious, I don't know if I'll do a sugar-free. So that's one of our philosophies. We do good and we taste good.
And what about stevia? Stevia could be an option.
Absolutely. And I think, we're very close with our manufacturer. They're amazing. And, we continue to work with them to see like what's new, what's trending, and like how we're constantly improving. And that's what I think makes a successful like business person, is that you're always looking for room for improvement.
Yeah, you welcome feedback from your followers and people that buy it. You want people to talk about how they feel, what's going on inside of them from taking the gummy, like, and what their skin experience is like. But about 2 to 3 weeks after taking it, you think you're seeing a little bit of a dewy glow?
So we actually did a clinical study,
Tell me.
Trial on the gummies, and not very many supplement brands can say that. We partnered with Citrus Labs. They're an amazing a partner that helps basically make clinical studies more affordable for brands like ours. And our goal with it was, can people see visible improvement within 2 bottles, so 8 weeks? And the answer was yes. I think it was almost 90% of the participants saw visible improvement. And I think it was like close to 96% said that they really enjoyed the taste of it. So this is available on our site. We're very transparent with it. It's published on the clinicaltrial.gov site. But like that, we want to show our customers that we take R&D very seriously, and that comes in investing in those kind of trials.
That's awesome. Well, not only are you an intelligent, graceful, and eloquent CEO, you're a CEO that likes to have fun.
Yes, hell yeah, I love to have fun. And I want more CEOs to share that part of their work.
And that's so important. At Stellar Girl, we talk about that all the time. I mean, yes, we want to shine bright from within. We want to, look our best selves. We want to be our best selves, which is not cliche. It's actually legit. We want to live out our best lives. We want to be as healthy as we can be. We want to dress in what makes me feel good, whether we're, for our mood and destination, right?
Yeah.
We like to shop a little, right?
A little, splurge a little bit,
all of those good things. But doing all those things and having that life and that work, I'm a mom. I mean, and there's so much going on all the time. We forget about the fun aspect of life. And you were mentioning something earlier about like how you want to like have CEOs bring back the fun.
Yeah, there's this culture within, I guess the business space that you always have to be working, right? It's like this hustle mentality, and hustle gets you places. But I feel like you have to have fun, and I like showing that I have fun. Like my Instagram bio, I put a CEO who just wants to have fun, because as soon as someone sees my Instagram, I want them to know like, hey, this isn't where you're going to see seriousness, right? And you can't judge me for that because I'm young and I want to have fun, but I take my work very seriously. And I really try to have a balance. So I was inspired by Ariana Huffington. She did like a whole movement a couple years ago where it was basically saying like, you need your 8 hours of sleep or however many hours, because entrepreneurs were being burned out left and right. They were constantly working. If they weren't working, they felt guilty for it. And so that movement really inspired me to put my health at first. I mean, obviously some days, I know you as well, like you don't get your full 8 hours of sleep, but right? Especially with a kid. And I really admire women who have a family and have a business as well, because I don't have a family yet. And I'm already like so exhausted sometimes.
And it's a lot of pressure. I mean, even for someone as young as you and as successful as you are, and I love that you're so humble about it. You're like, yeah, but you had like this waiting list after you launched during the pandemic.
Yeah, when we launched in the middle of pandemic, it was June. So we launched on my birthday, tried to do something fun with it.
See, happy birthday. Happy birthday last month.
Yeah, thank you. And 3 weeks before we launched, we actually sold out. I only made 1,000 units. I honestly did not even think I would sell out of 1,000 units my first year. And we ended up selling, I think almost 2,000 units before launch. And that was due to our amazing marketing team. It was due to the wonderful creators that we worked with, including, I know past, one of our mutual friends, Adaletta.
Yes.
And when people waited 6 weeks to get the product, and I think they were so patient about it. We had like a couple people who weren't like so happy, but I think I was trying my best to be very transparent. I was like, this is middle of the pandemic. We can't get our product. I just want to let you know, if you want to cancel, you can cancel.
Right.
But people were really excited for it and they waited. So that's great.
Awesome. Well, it's kindness. I always say kindness always first. So we're on the topic of your products. Let's talk about the new one that just launched for eczema.
Yes.
Just tell me the benefits of that and how that's different from, well, obviously retinol and eczema are completely two different treatments, skincare issues. So what's in this one and how can it help people with eczema?
Yeah, so we just officially launched the eczema gummy. So the world's first eczema gummy a couple of days ago. And our approach to skincare is a whole body approach, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you think of skin, people typically think of the skin on their face, but you forget about your elbows, your legs, and people, I think it was like almost 10% of Americans suffer from some form of eczema. And I think that has to do with, the city life that we're living. Mm-hmm. We're not taking care of our skin. Our diet is poor. So there's so many factors, of course, stress as well. And so through the pandemic, you saw this surge in eczema related skin conditions. Mm-hmm. So the eczema gummy, we've been in R&D for a year.
Okay.
And the reason we wanted to create this formula is because our COO, Alexis, she's like my work wife. Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Alexis.
But she suffered from really, really bad eczema.
Okay.
She had it all over her hands, and it was triggered from stress.
Okay.
And we decided like, hey, how do we help treat this from the inside out? Because she didn't want to use steroids, because sometimes, it's on your hands, you can't get it in your mouth. There's a lot of side effects to it. Have you ever experienced eczema?
I have as a child. And I remember my mom putting like white gloves on me so I would stop scratching.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
I was lucky that my eczema was more of like from the weather. So I was actually raised in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah. And the weather there would dry out your skin. You have the heater running all the time.
Yep. I'm Canadian. I know the cold.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan born and bred.
Yeah. So we played around with a couple of different ingredients. So she bought like these veggie capsules from Amazon. We went out to, I think it was like Sprouts, and bought these different ingredients that had some sort of like science backing to it.
Okay. That
can help alleviate symptoms of eczema. So we would like, do it really ghetto style. We would like make it like what do you call it? Basically break the pills down, put them into the veggie capsules. And we tried them for 2 months. And I saw that my skin was a lot less drier in areas of my elbows. And for her, she still had the flare-ups, but they were less frequent, and her skin healed faster. So we knew we were onto something. So we took these ingredients, which is, it's vitamin D3, because people are deficient in that. We had MSM, which is a anti-inflammatory ingredient. It's such a mouthful. It's methyl sulfonamethane.
That's okay. We're not chemists.
Yeah. And evening primrose oil, which can help repair the skin barrier. So that complex was the main ingredients. And we took it to a manufacturer and we're like, hey, can you guys do something for this? Their lab created the formula. We did a couple of rounds of testing. It's like a mixed berry flavor, very delicious. And now we have the product. And then we will go into the clinical trials with that as well. But what we're hoping to do with it is, you can't cure eczema. There's so many factors. Doctors can't even cure it. But we're hoping to just bring some sort of comfort, make it a little bit more bearable for you. And it's also really great. So if you have chronic dry skin, I highly recommend the eczema gummy as well.
Can you take them together, the retinol and the eczema together?
You totally can.
So I can take 4 gummies a night.
You can sit there and get all the gummies and just watch your favorite show and eat them. But just 2 gummies a day. They're so good. So as soon as we have them, I would love to send it to you and get your feedback.
I would love that. Do you have, and I'll send you some Stellar Girl glitter lotion too.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So what age can the women or men take the retinol gummy and now the eczema gummy? Because often eczema is, yes, it's in our later stages of life as well, but also children get it very commonly. So is it safe for kids to take it?
That's a really interesting question. So for the retinol gummy, we recommend at least 15 or over.
Okay.
And it's great for women that are in their mid-20s, because that's when you start
losing the collagen.
Yeah. And for men, love it as well. So men don't like putting stuff on their skin. But with gummies, they feel like it's more fun. It's easier to do. Like it's a one and done.
Yeah.
So men love it. And then for the eczema gummy, I'm glad you brought that up, because we had a lot of moms ask us, and there's no reason that children shouldn't be able to take it, because the vitamins are something that you need to be 18 or over for. But we are, working with physicians to confirm that.
Okay.
So as always, with any of these products, we ask you to check it out with a physician.
Yeah. And you're not in, no one's a doctor here, right? So we all have to, when you go to the doctor, you have to fill out the checklist. Like they even ask if you're taking vitamin B, C, every other vitamin or any other supplements you're taking. I don't take like a pre-workout or a post-workout, but they always ask like if you're taking anything else. And I discovered array. I'm like, I have to add that to my list now. So yeah, there's all kinds of things. So
and we always make products that we know that we'll take. Because if we don't take it, we're not going to be confident in selling it to you.
Of course. And the fact that you've taken it for 2 months, you took the eczema gummy or the eczema, concoction that you guys made for a couple months before you even created it is awesome. And do you still need a multivitamin when you take your gummies, or can we sort of alleviate that because there's enough of like calcium or iron or anything like that in yours, or do we still need our basic multivitamin?
With the retinol gummy, we took some of the vitamins from a multivitamin and put it in there too, because again, it's a one and done solution, right? So we recommend you can just eliminate the multivitamin altogether. You don't need to double up on that because the main ingredient being vitamin A, that's something that you don't want to overdose on.
Okay.
So be mindful of the other vitamins that you're taking.
Okay, fantastic. And we could talk about packaging too, because I'm sure you went through all kinds of hoops trying to get like, what does your bottle look like? And people forget, like, who haven't made a product, like they go to Sephora, Ulta, or wherever they get their beauty products from, or by the vitamin store, wherever they're getting their, and they don't think, they're like, oh, here's a package, and they flip it over, they read the ingredients or not. But they see it first, and people forget how much time it takes to create the packaging or the bottle or the tube or the whatever to make that. And I just think that's such an interesting process as well.
And it's one of my favorite, like for me, branding and marketing, I feel like are my strengths, and I love doing it with, Alexis, who our COO, she is like ingredient cyclopedia. Like she knows ingredients by heart, and she loves that research for it. So that's her strength. So we complement each other really well. But for me, the packaging, because we were in the middle of the pandemic, we kind of just had to go with what was most available. So it's just like a standard, PT, I think it's called a round neck bottle. So like a lot of like the other supplements. So we put a lot of love instead into the label and the design. We wanted something that was really appealing, because for me, like, I am such a sucker for packaging.
Yeah. If it doesn't look good, I don't want it. Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful product.
Yeah, thank you. But I hope that in the next year or so, as we're able to grow more, that I can invest in like a custom packaging and custom bottle. That would be really cool.
What was your biggest challenge? Like, as we both launched during the pandemic, but what was your biggest challenge? Like, was it, getting it obviously to your customers, because you only pre-ordered 1,000 units. So that was one of your challenges. Was there anything else that, stumbled, like reordering? Obviously you couldn't get the packaging or the labels made.
Yeah, well, the supply chain would be like the number one issue, right? I think so many businesses had to deal with that because you get everything from overseas, bottles are overseas. Even if you purchase them in the US, they're likely getting it from overseas. People weren't working. So like with our manufacturer, like even if they wanted to get these products out, there's the safety of their employees was also very important.
Of course.
So we saw delays in that. And then the second thing was getting the orders out and, constantly updating our customers. And if you're listening and you are a consumer, I just wanted to share that there are real people behind, these emails and these inboxes. Yeah. And like you said earlier, right? Kindness goes so far. And when I wish everyone had some sort of customer service job at least once in their lifetime to know how to deal with that.
Yeah. I even when I call, this is off topic, but your TV breaks, right? The person on the other line of DirecTV isn't the person that broke your TV. It's not their fault. But it's frustrating to you because your TV is broken or you can't watch your Netflix or what, it's not working, or your Wi-Fi goes out. And, people just have no idea how to talk, because kindness goes so far and so long, whether you're a hotel, at a restaurant, you have no idea. And I think this world would be a better place if we all led with kindness. So please go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say really quick, I'll tell you a secret. If you are nice to the people in the email, they will go so far to make sure they resolve that issue for you.
And if you're barking in capital letters, they will be like, I'm putting that thing at the bottom of my to-do list today. So what brings Jenn joy? I love asking this question to all of my guests because I get so many different answers.
I love that. Just experiencing new things. I don't think there's one particular thing. I guess the freedom to explore is what brings me joy.
Okay.
And I recently adopted a cat. He's like my world now. I've become like a full-blown cat lady, and I'm so proud of it.
Good.
But the freedom to explore and foster new relationships, it means a lot to me, because I know that, or I hope I would be really successful one day. And I want the people that are here in my life now supporting me to still be there in the future. Because I've seen, there are successful people out there who are just so lonely and miserable. And I don't want to be that.
No, Jenn wants to have fun.
I want to have fun.
But you're very humble because you did create the world's only retinol gummy. You did create the world's first eczema gummy. Like you've accomplished so much, and that should be celebrated. So
I like that, celebrated.
And pardon me. Like I made this lotion because it's a celebration for my skin.
Yeah.
And, you create, like, you want to celebrate your life, your Jennifer-ness, as I would call it. Like, there's no one else like you out there. And that's what, I think with Stellar Girl, we have this mindset and this where we want to celebrate, champion, and inspire each other. So what's your advice on how we can better do that?
Ooh, I think like for business women, for example, right? I feel like it can be very lonely sometimes because you're making executive decisions and you're constantly working, and sometimes you don't know where to turn to for advice. And I found that with me sharing my wins and my lows on Instagram, I've had, other like-minded business women reach out to me and be like, hey, can we just do a FaceTime? Like, I just want to talk to someone else who's like in the same boat as me. And a couple weeks ago, one of my, friends and followers on Instagram was like, hey, can we just like hang out on FaceTime? And we talked for an hour, and we just shared tips and talked about boys and work. And it was so nice and refreshing. So I think just like leaving an open heart, like having that open conversation, like, hey, we can talk about anything, is a first step to having that community.
And communication,
absolutely.
and how we communicate to each other.
Yeah.
Because
you shared with me earlier about how sometimes we are all about sharing and having the space, but once someone gets too close to that space, we can kind of feel ourselves getting a little bit anxious and like pushing people out. And I've totally experienced that, and I catch myself doing it. But it's like for example, I was in a situation where a gal who was in a similar beauty space as me, she was basically asking for like trade secrets, things that I've worked really hard for. And it's like, how do I do it where I'm still championing her, still supporting her, because I do want her to succeed, but also politely tell her like, hey, I can't tell you that because it's like a trade secret. So I don't know. It's something I'm still learning. I'd love to get your advice on it.
Well, I mean, I go with you, like with kindness and first, like you're always kind to them first, and you explain to them like, this is something like this is my passion. This is something that I have a lot of experience to it and with it, and communicate that in the most gentle, kind way possible. And like, I'm always the first person, like if someone likes my outfit, they're like, where did you get that? I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know, but you can check my tag, because I want to be able to like, let them know. It's like, that's not a secret, right? What I get my dress, it's not like, oh, you can't get that dress because I got that dress, or, and tips and little secrets about skincare and stuff. Like, we love to share those things. But when it comes to your work and passion and something that you've developed from within, it's okay for you to say, absolutely. Like, I'd love to talk about, how you can get started, but this is my baby. This is my passion project. This is, this is my world's work. And I'm going to keep that close to myself and respect that. And I don't know. I think there's room for everyone. I do believe that. I believe there's room for everyone to win in one shape or another, instead of having to always like compete. But I don't know. I think there's nothing wrong for women to say, I worked for this, and this is something I can't share, but let's talk about how I can help you.
Yeah. I like that. Thank you for that.
So, I am so excited for what's to come for you. I am thrilled that I got to meet you over Zoom, and hopefully I'll get to LA and meet you in person one day. I'm going to send you a little sunshine.
I love that. I'm so excited to like start glowing the summer with it.
A little sparkle. Yep. A little, when you go out at the beach, at the pool, and is that your kitty cat? I'd love to see. Oh, darling. Yes.
Yeah. I adopted him a couple weeks ago, and he's like the most precious, sweet thing. I feel so lucky. He loves to get cuddled, and I'm a cuddler.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for speaking Stellar Girl with me today. I can't wait to see more of you on Stellar Girl and sharing all of your secrets and traits and what you do for fun, because we're all about fun over here at Stellar Girl, and I'm so happy that we have that in common.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me. Like I'm excited to be a part of the community, like I said, and can't wait to meet everyone else a part of it.
Thank you, and I'll talk to you on the other side.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes. To learn more about the Stellar Girl movement, please visit us at stellargirl.com.